my pajamas. Snap your fingers, open it, and the point is gone. There's not much of an impact to that. And the reason for that is that the action seems arbitrary. That there doesn't seem to be a cause that makes that event happen. Okay, so as you can see, the chain case is filled with crap. This was pretty severely damaged because the bearing failed. And if you could see that in there, completely gouged that out. Catastrophic bearing failure. So ordered an entirely new idler. Here's the old spacer. Or excuse me, bushing. The bushing sits inside the tensioner, which I just showed you. And then there's some spacers that go on either side of this. So let's put this back together.
No, like it's not a negative. Excuse me, no warning. Killing my eyes over here. You rotate my obesity. You know, if you're
I will. My videos are a little less formal.
immediately banned in China. Immediately demonetized.
That's better. There it is. Perhaps not the best design, but it's a design, all things considered. Now, I believe up here, we're getting water in there. That's probably why that gear oil is filled with water, which has caused multiple problems with this in the first place. So let's get a washer on there. So we just dumped in some waste oil, and let's run this machine now and kind of get things moving in there, and then siphon that waste oil out, and then we'll just change it with good oil. There's no emergency brake, so we need to get a wheel chock. The book says that this chain is supposed to have a maximum total deflection of 1 inch. This probably won't do anything, but may as well throw it on. Perhaps not a popular decision, but I am going to use just whatever various oils I have laying around. I've got a 20 weight 50. I've got this, whatever's left of this Polaris chain case lubricant for snowmobiles, and another 20 weight 50. I don't really use this oil too much. So definitely going to be better than what was in here, which was water and gear oil. So I'm just going to dump in enough to where it covers up the chain, and you know, I'm just gonna let that be that. And here is some Polaris 0850. Let's take a look in there. You can kind of see, looks way better than that was in it before. Tighten up the jam nut for this adjustment. Of course, I put the camera right in my way. Okay, now we'll let that sit and we'll tighten that up in an hour. All right, it's been a little over an hour. Let's tighten these bolts up. All right, let's get these wheels back on. Tread's pretty bald on these. I've never opened up this case, so let's see what we find. Take a look at that. Yuck. Let's change that out. All right, let's take a look at this idler. Here's the new. Here's the old. With this side appears to be more of an original setup. The way this went together was when the bolt goes through here, then you'd put this spacer. Then there's this bushing that presumably went in the center of there. This looks like it wore down, slipped into here. When it slipped off of the bearing sat cocked like that, causing us to get this gouging again. Not nearly as bad, so I'm not even gonna weld it this time because as you could see, it's barely eating away at the metal. But what I am gonna do is I'm going to replace the idler with a standard size 3/4 inch center bore. This is probably more like 15, well, I don't know about that, maybe 13/16. So we're going to put this baby in here. We're gonna put the spacers in. There's a little bit of slop, so we're gonna try and maybe build it up with a washer, I don't know. But this bolt fits really nicely in here. It's almost perfect. It's like, it's really good. It'll be good enough, especially if we sandwich it tight together. So, that being said, let's see how we can get this together. So that, once we bolt that together, that's definitely pretty tight. So, with that washer on the outside there, plus the bolt through there, I think that's gonna be our ticket. You know, it's not perfect, but that's a whole lot better than before. I mean, that's definitely pretty good. That'll last a while. So it's not touching the bottom, but it's definitely about an inch of play. I'm gonna thin this out with diesel fuel. Actually, I thought that might be a better idea. All right, just gonna dump some 10 weight 30 in here, call it a day. Some new nuts and bolts here. The old ones were some of them were pretty crusty. It's been about an hour. Let's tighten this up. She's running good, working good. Thanks for watching.